Terence has been doing that for quite some time. And when you look at where he's at right now, I understand, I'm going to represent this. I understand that people see he's connected to Victor Conte. I was connected to Victor Conte. You never saw me pop for anything. You will never see Terence pop for anything because Terence ain't that kind of person, first and foremost. Nor was I. And he's not that kind of athlete. Neither am I.
So Victor, what he was doing, which is the juicy thing, what he was doing, this is way back when he went to court and all that stuff. He was giving me some stuff where it's a cream, you know. So Victor had the whole snack thing. Everybody, all these boxers do a snack now, right? Oh, they would snack. I would snack. But snack is Victor Conte. So what Victor said, what happened with me is I told Victor, I said, listen, when I fought Oscar the second time, I said, listen, I don't need nothing I'm strong, I'm everything. I don't need this. The second time I fought, this is the only time, I seen Victor 2 times in my life. One time when he drew my blood, the next time when we went to court. So he gives me cream. Well, I believe it's testosterone, something else, clearing. And so I take that, and then the other thing was the injectable, was for your magnet levels. So I said, okay, well, anything you give me, I took Victor. Anything you give me, you call the commission and see if it's all good and clear. Victor said, okay, yeah, everything's clear. You're not going to get popped for anything. I said, okay, cool. I'm good. So I fight. I never tested positive for steroids. Never. Never tested positive for steroids. So when I'm, you know, they test me, never happened. They say, oh, Shane got popped with steroids. Never got popped with steroids, ever. Ever. You can look at the things, never. It's only that I was associated with Victor Conte, who is now associated with the whole boxing world today.
Now, with that being said, let me back up, because you said PBC has a muzzle rule for their fighters. When Terence Crawford was not with PBC, meaning when he was with Top Rank Obviously, it was in 2021 when he was under your program, when he fought Shawn Porter. Was he tested for VADA?
I think there were, I don't recall exactly, but I think there was testing for Shawn Porter.
For Shawn Porter or Terence Crawford?
Listen,
or both of them?
VADA will not test just one person.
Okay.
They're going to test both parties, and they're going to test them as equally as they can.
Okay, so it is a possibility that it could have been tested for Terence Crawford and Shawn Porter in 2021 when they fought under Top Rank's banner.
So one of the first things that I want to talk about was the issue of whether Crawford and Porter did drug testing. You brought that to my attention, and I said that I wasn't sure. I thought there was, but maybe there wasn't, and we needed to look into this. So the first thing that I did is I went online and I looked at the VADA tweets where they welcome and congratulate fighters, and I want to talk a little bit about that. But there's nothing there, okay? So I did send a text to Margaret Goodman at VADA earlier today asking, was there or was there not testing? So hopefully we'll get an answer here from her, because I don't know. The issue was that one fighter was PBC, Porter, the other fighter was Top Rank. You indicated the Top Rank was the lead promoter. And I'm going to show you here several instances where when Top Rank was the lead promoter, that they did in fact were announced by VADA, and they also, for the Fury and Wilder fights, it actually says TGB Promotions. So I found a couple of instances there with Fury where they even, because Top Rank was. So the deduction is, until we know back from Margaret, maybe there was no testing.
But what Victor Conte will do is he'll make sure that you get the best supplements, the supplements that are legal, that will help your body and help your mind become optimal.
And so the first step, as we've always talked about, is let's get your blood testing. Because if all I am is a sponsor and I'm just sending you a fighter training stack that's generic for anybody and everybody, and you're wearing a patch, but I've never talked to you or I've never tested your blood, I don't consider that me working with you, and it's a real working relationship. But the instant that you give me all that data on your blood, and I can now interpret that and make specific recommendations and prompt you to have great compliance if you want to get some results, now we're working together. Make sense?
Yep.
So that happened initially. I guess the first time was before the Porter fight. And I said, but there's a bit of a conflict here. I would have to get the approval of Shawn and Ken. So before I can commit and say, yes, I will help you in this fight, let me go to them. And I did, as I told you earlier. And then Shawn said, let me talk to my dad. And he came back and said, we're good with it, because they're friendly. They've known each other since the amateurs many, many years. They're warriors when they go in the ring, but they're friendly. And then I went back to Terence and I said, they said they're good with it. And the only thing Terence said was, let the best man win. Tell me what to do. How do I get my blood drawn? How do I work with you? And carried forward from there.
Okay, stop. Hey, Shawn! Oh, I'm gonna crack this case wide open again. Hey, Shawn! Hey, Shawn! Hey, Shawn! What did Victor Conte need to call you and your daddy for? Wait a minute, Victor. You mean to tell me that before Terence Crawford can come and be a part of the snack program because he was about to fight Shawn Porter, you, Victor Conte, the man who owns the actual company, had to get authorization from Shawn Porter and his dad before he can agree to allow Terence Crawford to work with the snack program because they was about to fight each other. Somebody help me I know I'm a college dropout and I'm slow. Somebody help me make sense of this. If all Shawn Porter just told us was Victor Conte just sending us supplements, well, what's all of this authorization and conversation and negotiations for? What's up, big dog Lucky? That was salute to my brother Lucky's in the chat. He just pulled up in the parking lot. Hey, Shawn! What did Victor have to call you for when he owns the company? I own multiple businesses. I never had to call and get authorization from an employee or anybody else. I'm just trying to figure out I got to go back to Shawn Porter's interview.
But what Victor Conte will do is he'll make sure that you get the best supplements, the supplements that are legal, that will help your body and help your mind become optimal.
The owner of the company told Terence Crawford, I, the boss, the owner of the company, the owner and manufacturer of the product, the owner and the producer of the protocol, I have to get the approval from Shawn Porter, another boxer. It's just supplements. Why did Victor Conte have to get the approval from Shawn Porter? And then why did Shawn Porter have to get the approval from his dad, Kenny Porter? We need answers. It's just supplements. What did Victor Conte need their blood for? You heard him just say, if all it is that I'm doing is sending you a fat stack attack, which is generic to any and everybody. Did y'all hear him? In other words, anybody can just purchase the product, the supplements online, without me receiving the data on their blood. It's not a working relationship. And Shawn, what did the owner of the company had to get your approval for before you fought Terence Crawford? Before Terence Crawford can get cleared to be on his program? It's just supplements. I cracked this case wide open.